Make sure everything's going. It's going to be a little laggy as TeamSpeak moves everyone to the channel. You're going to hear everyone for just a hot second.
Znasz to? W sensie przerywa cię strasznie.
Allo Mugli.
Alright guys, WW here. It's time for another OFCRA PvP match, and we have quite an interesting op. It's alt history between the factions of the CSA 38 mod. So it's the CSA 38 Germans, which I believe are on blue 4 here, and they are going to be fighting against the CSA Czechs, which are op 4. So the alt history is that the Czechs are betrayed by the Germans, and now we're going to pretty much have them fight in this scenario here. So there's more on the write-up itself. I didn't recall the exact plot of the mission. I think they said it locally in the channel, but that's what the gist of what's going on is. And they're battling on the map Orglands, which is its own custom map, not tied to any IFA mod or mod pack. It's its own thing. But otherwise, with that, we have no 5-minute delay, so we are going to be streaming in real time so I can interact with all of you in real time. So Brett, how you doing? Brew Brew, it's such a funny name. Brew, Sorgoroth, and Hakana, how are you guys doing? This is going to be our first stream out of the 3 planned for the day, and otherwise trying to see what our final count is real quick. Yep, we're still at about 82 players, so it's an 80-plus person PvP operation, and it's more of a neutral objective. Oh dear, why is my map broken? There we go. So both sides are going to be going for objectives over here, and both sides have an interesting array of vehicles to work with. So the Germans, we see them mainly handling Car 98s. We've got some grenade rifle adapters, some MG34s, and some bayonets on the end of their guns, which I would assume are usable. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else like G43s. How about we look at some of the squad leaders here? Nope, Car 98, Car 98.
This is Commander, copy FJB.
And it looks like it's just Car 98s and MG34s, and the K98s have grenade rifle adapters at the end or bayonets. So mostly a bolt action fight we're seeing on the Blue 4 side. They've got multiple transport trucks, a couple wagon on the rear, and 4 of these small little, they're not exactly tankettes, but they're definitely more so on the armored car side. They just have twin MGs for their armament. Interesting. So these are from the CSA 38 mod, but otherwise nothing heavy from what I can see. And then a few bicycles. Interesting. Very, very interesting there. And then we've got LRs, but they're only good for about 3 kilometers in range. Let's go ahead and look at the Czech side. Yeah, they're either Panzer 2s or Panzer 1s. I think they're Panzer 1s, actually. But the Czechs here, it looks like they also have mainly bolt-action rifles. I'm hearing that bayonet animation. They're stabbing each other with them.
See ya, boss man. I never got landed.
Oh my fucking god.
So as the mission is starting, they're invincible in their own zones, but it's funny to watch them stab each other with their own bayonets. But otherwise, looking at the weaponry, I believe it's also Car 98s. Except they're machine gunners. I forget what it's called, but it's basically a knockoff Bren. It's the Czech version of it. So the Germans have the better machine gun, but it looks like OPFOR is giving the US radio backpacks for communication. And I would assume that if we're mirror matching the weaponry minus the HMGs, I'm trying to find someone with a grenade rifle adapter, which I can't tell if that's it. I don't think that's it, though. So someone, yeah, there it is. There's one. Looks like it's an underbarrel attachment, though. Interesting enough. Yeah, all right. So now these guys have the tankettes here.
I'll have you know that this is what's going to win us this game.
And this war.
I mean, this thing probably won't.
So it's also a twin machine gun. The driver gets a gun and the gunner gets a gun. The gunner can actually move his around as a coax, but the driver's is purely forward facing. And they only get one of them. Interesting. But I think that's because the Czechs are closer to the objectives themselves. We've also got some scout bicycles down. And otherwise, it's just going to be a bolt-action fight from the looks of things. Commanding Op4 is NASA, and commanding Blue 4 is NASA Deleter. Oh my god. Let's get the prediction going, shall we? Give me 1 second. Who will win OFCRA World War II PvP match? Blue 4... Germans or Op4. And I'll give you guys 10 minutes to sort that out. There you go. Place your bets as I go through the rest of the AO. So, I don't know. I mean, we know a lot about NASA. I mean, he tends to win a lot, but he doesn't really think ahead after everything's gone by. He's a little slow to adapt sometimes. We've seen that cost him, but I think the, I forget if he was commanding the Russian, not the Russian, the Chinese side last week, but that was just an outright stomp out. But he's up against a guy named NASA Deleter. I mean, that's going to be a tough one, guys. If your name is literally the name of the enemy commander you're fighting, I mean... I'll just let that speak for itself. Otherwise, let's look at the AO here. So we also have some AT positions out here. And they've got some AI on them. Looks like it's supposed to be Czech AI, so... It looks like this is supposed to be a defense attack style mission with the Czechs already controlling this AO. So they've got one AT gun up here and it is movable. And there's another AT gun up here, which is also movable. So that's why the Germans have 3 more armored... Again, I think they're Panzer Ones. I could be wrong, though, but I'm pretty sure that just the machine gun barrels are Panzer Ones in on themselves. But otherwise, there's 3 objectives up for grabs. Think of them as sectors from FNF. So one right here, and then one on that southern hill. And those sectors, I believe, are each worth... let me quickly tab out and check. There's a certain point tally here. Gotcha. Okay. Got it. So the smaller ones, the northern one and the southern one, are both worth a point each, and then the town of Marines itself is worth 2 points. Now let me quickly check. The supremacy bonus is worth 1 point. Got it. But it's for less than 2 people remaining. Okay. So pretty much, that's kind of strange how they put it down to 2, but if you wipe your opponent down to 2 or less players, you get a point. So they're really focusing on holding the objectives themselves. So with this being an OFCRA mission as well, it's going to be an hour-and-a-half long. Thank you, it is a Panzer One. Got it. So that's going to give Blue 4 here a lot of time to maneuver. But Op 4 is going to also have to rush in and start setting up defensive lines. So if both teams leave at the same time, I could see Blue 4 getting there maybe 5 to 10 minutes later, which means Op 4 is only going to have about that 5 to 10 minutes to set up decent defensive lines. They're going to have to be really quick about repositioning these AT guns if they want to move them. Because otherwise, I think Blue 4 is going to focus on trying to knock those AT guns out, but only if they want to go heavy with those Panzer 1s. I would say they're Wehrmacht. I don't see any indication that they're SS.
Good tug. Yeah.
I'm also seeing some... Oh, I thought those were mines for a second, but no, those are the drums they put on the MG34.
Just say... Well, actually, it doesn't matter.
But this is meant to be more so a bolt-action firefight with machine guns. Now, what do I see right there? That appears to be a Maxim barrel. So we do have heavy machine guns in play. I misspoke earlier. And called these guys HMG gunners. More so LMG gunners. The statics are the HMGs. Otherwise, mission has started. We already see the Panzer 1s here driving out. And they're going to pretty much lead the platoon here. So I'll be curious to see if any of the Czech players have any HMGs as well. You hear both of the little things honking here. Looks like someone is getting out to instead grab a bicycle. That's funny. Otherwise, Czechs are getting underway. We'll see what they decide to set up in terms of defense lines here. Still have about 7 minutes left on that prediction. Honestly, this is a very large AO. I don't really see how the Czechs could hold all of this. The southern objective, the actual church here, this is kind of easy. You just have to set up some decent defense lines, some layers of trenches, and make sure the enemy don't capture the AT guns to bombard you from afar. Even so, you could put the AT guns up here and cover, but that might be a little too predictable. So honestly, where the AT guns are right now are really good, but because the Germans know where they are as well, it means that the Czechs should probably try to move them. Otherwise, I would assume the Germans are going to immediately try to attack them to get them removed from play. But regardless, southern objective is really easy to defend. Central objective, I mean, it's just the center of town. That's going to be extremely difficult to hold. Possibly an interior compound here. You got a decent perimeter with a wooden fence. But again, it's bolt-action rifles, so this level of combat might actually be really good for those ranges. But you're probably going to see a lot of one-tapping because of the size of the round in the Kar 98. In previous matches in OFCRA, usually it's an insta-kill unless it's like a leg or an arm shot. But anything center mass usually drops them. Maybe we'll even see some bayonet charges too, you know? But the northern objective is literally this compound. This is the one I think I'm most worried about for the Czechs, because that one, a lot of open territory around, a lot of room for the tankette to start, the tankette platoon. Actually, no, excuse me, it would be a Panzer I platoon to engage from afar. So I could see them giving up this objective or trying to booby trap it somehow in favor of focusing on the center one. We've also got some decent trench lines up here, but I'm not sure if the Czechs are going to use them because they risk an overextension. We also got some really good trench networks over here overwatching that northern objective, but it looks like you'd have to know about it beforehand because it's not marked on the map at all. So I could see the Germans setting up, finding this position, because they're just going to naturally go to the forested area to get some good overwatch and then potentially getting some good marksmanship. This is even a position where you can set up a static gun, though the little dirt... See how it's divoted right here? It's meant to face this way, but I'm sure they could finagle it and have it face that way too. We got this bunker up here, trying to determine if it's going to even be usable. It's got these really small fire ports. I don't think that's going to be usable at all for these guys here, unfortunately. But it's a nice showpiece. We'll have to see. Otherwise, Czechs are starting to enter the AO. Looks like they are going to go for a very proactive defense. Huh, so they're not going to focus on defending the town here. They're going to focus on defending the northern side of the objectives. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm pretty sure both sides are going to have AT grenades of some sort in order to engage each other's tankettes, because it wouldn't make much sense if they didn't. Maybe they did some pre-planning and they're taking these trenches. But I could just see the Germans breaking through these lines and heading right into the objective, stealing the AT guns and taking everything out from under NASA's nose. But we do see time and time again that NASA is really good at his initial plan. So we'll just have to see how, if things adapt here. I am also seeing a massive line that, how would I say this? Sometimes in World War II maps, you get this, which cuts through the entire map to make a bunch of natural choke points. I forget which maps in IFA have something like this, but I could assume the Czechs might utilize that and set up a perimeter, but at the same time, I'm seeing the Czech players go past it to set things up. So I guess they're just going to set up positions, try to find where the Germans are going to come from, and then just encircle them somewhere in the forest and just go for kills. Yeah, tank barricades, that would be a proper term. Yeah, like a border fence too, exactly. So I can only assume NASA is just dividing his forces to try to set up a good perimeter to then encircle the enemy, and we'll just have to see what the Germans do, because I doubt the Germans have planned for something like that, because if they did, they wouldn't be going in one large convoy, because that's too big of a risk to be encircled. Torberg is the other one. Yes, Tootie, it's one of the other maps that has one of those big borders like that. Thanks. So it's going to really be up to NASA Deleter to adapt his strategy when the other NASA on Op4 starts to try to encircle the net. Also, fun fact, you can always tell that it's CSA 38 units if you see this symbolism, because you don't see this symbolism in any other mod out there. Yeah, it's one of the two. It's one of the African desert maps. All right. Well, people seem to be leaning on Blue 4 on the attack, which I agree with. The fact they have a full platoon of Panzer 1s compared to the one tankette on the Czech side is a pretty hefty advantage. Even though the Czechs have 2 AT guns, it looks like they're not really going to touch them. In fact, NASA's actually in the tankette with Goatland, potentially going to drive up and take one of the AT guns to overwatch with it. Otherwise, Blue 4, you're starting to see one group dismount over here.
And we all feel gay when Johnny comes home.
Ever since we did the other World War II mission from about I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, where we listened to them for like a good 5 to 10 minutes and we're just talking about random shit, I just find it fascinating to listen to what they're talking about. But when we start seeing deaths come up, I will be muting myself in TeamSpeak. Speaking of, this is a really good opening here. They might see the Germans come in.
5 casette. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh! Chi sono quelli?
Thankfully, this isn't a machine gun position. Otherwise, these guys would probably be dead. Alright, real quick. Just gonna mute myself. Doesn't look like they, excuse me, got any kills, though. Otherwise, this is going to be our first point of contact. The Germans have sent in one group. Looks like they actually divided into a lot of different areas here. And now we're going to see our first squad-based firefight between German and Czech troops. NASA's really gone outside of the box with his defense strategy, but looks like the Germans, instead of going in with one large convoy, they've actually started breaking off forces into a lot of different areas, which is really risky. But that also means that NASA's not going to have any single point of contact to encircle, and thus he's going to be forced to keep his forces splintered off as well. So once again, this is just going to fall to which squad performs better when fighting an enemy squad. Ghost Division, good God. German speaking French, yeah, right? It's alt history after all. So the Germans outnumber the Czech forces here. The tankette might come in to reinforce, but it's like we're also seeing, oh, it's a bicycle. I thought that was another Vic coming over to potentially assist, but if the Czechs just get defeated in detail by larger German forces, I don't really know what's going to happen. Ooh, we have a really good grenade throw. Went a little far, but it still did a good amount of damage. We need another grenade to go. Was Chiliny. Smoke was just popped. Let's see if he throws another, because if he gets another good grenade throw and it gets in the middle of 3 troops, he could easily make this fight more even. But instead, he is tapped by Baku. Big ouch. And he's got some sort of, I think that's a little 60mm hand mortar, actually. Now you're hearing both of these sides starting to engage each other. Another Czech player was just taken out by what sounds like the MG34. Not looking good for the Czechs here. They were already outnumbered. We have a third guy down, Rizbo, And they are in another firefight all the way over here. It looks like they ambushed a German truck. And took out almost everyone in it. So where one firefight's going well for the Germans, another one has completely fallen apart. We just had some sort of explosion here on this truck, knock someone out unconscious, but it looks like the Czech players here have also taken a big chunk of casualties. That's the entire German force knocked out over here. This entire squad down. But meanwhile over here, it looks like the Germans are winning this fight for the most part. So after all of these skirmishes conclude, we need to really look at who's going to be remaining. And to see where NASA or NASA Exterminator adapt from there. Everyone's making Czech jokes, good God. Looks like both of these guys just missed point blank, but the German, nope, it looks like he was clipped actually, but he was able to get his shot on better. Or more quickly. But at this rate, looks like the Czechs are going to be pulling back. Also, side note, you normally never see that type of smoke grenade used because the AI don't always notice it, but against players, it's perfect. Alright, so these three are trying to pull up to the north. Someone spotted and try to shoot him. Check your corners. Alright, might as hell get all the Czech jokes out of your system, guys. So they're retreating into this one trench. You have a tank, a Panzer 1, and it looks like a transport truck coming down to potentially go and check that area out. No! It's a Czech group that's following one of the tankettes, Panzer 1s, excuse me. So what, they're going to try to follow it with AT grenades or something, or are they going to try to pick off the commander over here? Seems like a really bad idea to follow something with twin machine guns, but I'm not going to judge. Meanwhile, back here we have someone rendering medical. It's Lucky getting medical from Lucian. We have, appears to be a Czech fire team coming around to try to check this area out. Maybe if these three can hold on, that 5-man team can come down and assist, because it looks like there's another squad coming around as well. But all of this fighting has been very far outside of the AO. One ambush here and then one a little bit closer. And now you've got these... What are they doing? They're just trying to follow the fucking Panzer 1 out here. But it looks like the main German force is starting to come down. At least for the Panzer 1 platoon. Hey Squid, how you doing? And this guy has the machine gun. I think he's trying to line up a shot because he sees him. Yeah, they're... Someone's gotten out of the Vic over here. Did they know that they were being followed, or are they just looking around thinking, hey, that ambush happened over there. Let's set up and see if we can pick anyone off. We also have the tankettes coming around on the right flank. And now this machine gunner started engaging. But he is picked off by White. Giving some follow-up shots. That 5-man team slowed down a little bit. That's got Zicki and Ibnek. Two really good players. And it looks like 3 more guys are coming down, so that'll form into a full squad. And then we have this squad right here, which is also standing firm. But this leaves all the room for the Germans to come down and start taking the objectives. And then I guess NASA, who is OPFOR Command, is going to reform his forces and then attack from the north. Interesting strat, but how is he going to deal with that Panzer I platoon? Ooh. Dad doing the splits. He's got a weird green thing on him. I think that's a GL round. Almost hit the machine gunner there. Ooh, little bit of desync, I just think saved his butt there. Now you're having a bit of blue on blue here. As the Panzer's firing into some smoke. Looks like he's adjusted though, now he's trying to engage that one infantryman. Grenade throw, it's gonna be a little to the right, but we got some more blue on blue here. Yeah, these guys are just gonna be even more confused. Got some grenades being thrown back and forth, but there's a little bit too much room in the middle. GL went off. Not sure if that did any damage. All while this 5-man team's only advanced so much. Looks like this group has also given up on tracking that Panzer I. We still see some machine gun fire coming in. It looks like they're not firing at the actual enemy force here. I'm not sure if they've noticed. Getting very lucky evading those shots too, because they are completely exposed. So it looks like NASA's trying to convert all of his forces to attack from the north. So I think he's still trying to do that encirclement, except he's got no force to actually defend against them pushing into the south. So the sides have pretty much flip-flopped here, interesting enough. The chat was saying Country Road while the missile was being launched last night. Keck. I do remember seeing a few of that, yeah. A little bit of that. Alright, so one of the OPFOR players was knocked out. There's still some blue on blue. Not sure if anyone's been hit by that, though. So this one guy trying to pick units off. He's waiting for a good moment here. Alright, so it looks like that 5-man team has regrouped with that 3-man team and are hopefully going to start pushing in. I don't imagine any other reason they'd be coming down in that direction. And it looks like they're also crewing the southern AT gun. So this is NASA himself trying to cover to prevent the Panzer platoon from coming south. So that's what's going to stop the advance and box the entire German force in to allow his squads to come in. The question is, will he be able to get the Panzer group to come down a little more south for him to initiate something like that? It's a very messy plan here. He still has a lot of forces out of position, just hunting down little things. I'd imagine that gunner's going to get picked off, but I don't think these guys have any AT capability. Well, we've got the tankette coming on the rear. Someone has to have an AT grenade. There it is, yep. Looks like it was a gliding hit, though. That should have been a kill, but I guess they were off on the throw. Huh. Gunner just tried to hit. That was weird. It didn't really look like it went over, but it did. Yeah, right. Molotov cocktails for the Panzer Ones. So Op 4 is now converging on the north, but it looks like the Panzer One's driving back as the tankette advances. You gotta remember, these guys are locked to first person. But the gunner is looking to the right. He's not gonna notice that tankette. Hold up. I think the tankette might have spotted these tracks. What? Never mind. Otherwise, we have some long-range fire going on to that AT gun. As these two Czech players, they've snuck behind this one Vic, and they've picked off one of them. Now they're trying to hit more of these guys. All as NASA is not on the AT gun anymore. He broke it. Okay. So he's popping smoke. Oh, he's dead. Well then. Still have this one Czech guy surviving. It's Matt as he tries to come up and eliminate who he can in that Blue 4 group. You have the tankette in the middle. I guess just patiently waiting. And then you have NASA Deleter over here. I think he thinks that's his own Vic, because why would the Czech tankette be in the middle of the German line, right? But with that southern piece eliminated, I could see the Germans just trying to push through on this side. But let's quickly look at the roster here. It's pretty even, but the Germans have a bit of a number advantage here. Hold up, tankette has just started opening up. It's fighting a Panzer I, and the tankette's now booking it out of here. Took some damage. They were able to knock out one guy, though. Still doesn't help that the Czechs have a team of dudes up here. Looks like the Panzer I knows that they're here. There is one dead Czech. And a lot of smoke. So now I think that Panzer is just going to slowly hunt them down. And you still have this group of 4 coming down from that previous ambush. I could see Blue 4 just going in and taking these positions, though, and turtling them up. Check the AT guns, make sure that they're either destroyed or utilize them. But I don't know. I think Blue 4 is being very cautious, though, because they don't realize that the Czechs have nothing down here. Now you got this tankette coming around. Just trying to get on top of this Panzer. The gunner now gets out and goes, "What's that noise? Oh shit, that's the enemy." What? What? Okay then. So, I forgot the Czechs had that level of military capability. Pardon me for forgetting. Gonna quickly write that one down. Okay, cool. That's a thing. So by hitting the engine of the Panzer I, the tankette sacrificed itself and caused it to explode, making an even trade, but looks like the two operatives of that Vic survived, whereas one of the tankette members of the two-man crew died. That was Gotland, unfortunately. So it's alternate history. So yes, I guess that was the function of that tankette. But now that the Germans know that they've destroyed the one armor piece the Czechs have. I don't think there's going to be anything stopping Blue 4 from just bulldozing into this AO. Because I think they know they've also eliminated that one AT gun right there because it's just out in the open and, well, kind of belly side up here. Yes, Zam is incredibly right there. It could also mean that Newton's laws are slightly different, indicating why that happened. Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh, they've got, the tank crews have submachine guns, and it looks like they were just able to knock out both of these two Czech players coming to check this explosion out. They were able to get both of them. Nice. Tank at only op when? Maybe for a meme op one day if I can't finish Minecraft in time for Monday there. Cat op when? I don't know. Even if the model's made, I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do with it. Uh-oh. Well, there goes Doro. He's, deado. Doro Dora is now being bayoneted. So it's not looking too good for the Czechs now. They've got some good northern forces, but the Germans are pushing to the south. Infantry-wise, though, it looks pretty even. But it's because a lot of the German forces are still in the 3 remaining Panzer Is. So one of the Panzers has one of their gunners killed. And I would assume the other 2 are fully operational. Maybe. Why is this man all the way out here? Where's the... Nope, never mind. The other one got blown up by AT grenades, I guess. And they came and killed the other guy. Alright, so there's one Panzer I still fully operational. There's another one with its gunner dead. And the Czechs outnumber the Germans, but the Germans are going to be able to play on the defense here. Checked and wrecked. Jesus. All right, we got some long-range fighting from the northwestern woods here. A zoo filled with IED animals. That's not what I want, though. All right? That's... I don't really seek stuff like that out, okay, guys? So I could see this force continuing to maneuver around, taking this hill and taking the AT gun and maybe using it against infantry if there's any HE rounds. But the Czechs, it looks like they're going to form up on the northern side and just do a sweep. These 4, they have an LR, but are they still within radio range? It might be a little gargle, but it looks like they're still within the 3 clicks. Their truck would be, I last saw it right there, but it should be somewhere in here now, no? Okay, so it's left on the road, so they can get back into the AO in about 5 minutes. We have 2 Blue 4 players that are still bleeding out over here. One is a medic. That's unfortunate. So now I think we're just going to have to wait and see. We have one OP4 guy crawling up. I can only assume he's the guy with the AT grenades. No, wait, this is Matt, who is on his own to the left, and I think he's just trying to crawl in to figure out something to do. Or at least to harass Blue 4 a bit more. So Blue 4's come in. They've noticed that this medic is down. They're starting to work on him. And I think Geo bled out over there. Yep, he's dead now. Check posture. God damn it, guys. So Blue 4 really just needs to regroup and start putting itself into the objectives, and Op 4 needs to do the same. really with regrouping these two squads and finding a good way to push in, but they don't have any AT that's beyond close range, so they have to find a way to get into the objective to make this an urban fight so they can draw the Panzer Is in to AT them. Judy, I don't get to choose what missions are run, though. Vibe check. Good God. All right, get it out of your system. Have a moment anyway. Looks like no one took the SMG that one of the two members of the crew have. That or they just couldn't find it because it flew off. But I see the rifle up here, which means the other guy has the SMG. No, it looks like they both had bolt action, so maybe they backpacked it. I don't know. Or maybe it was only for that one guy. Who knows? Alright, so I still got the medic. Looks like they're bringing him with them. Matt is still crawling around over here. And we have one of the Panzer Is engaging some of the Czech players they spotted in the forest up here. But it didn't appear to be a successful strike. It's been about 15 minutes of continuous puns. Nemesis writing, what do you call a good friend of OFCRA? A checkmate. I swear to God. It is funny, but fuck you. God damn it. I'm not sure if Matt has any AT grenades, because if he did, he would be in a very good striking position to hit these tankets. I keep calling them tankets because I'm used to that, especially since the Czechs had one, but they're just Panzer Is. Looks like OFCRA's rallying up those two squads there. If they could find a way to get into this AO, they could probably overwhelm the German forces. They've got another 4 coming in from the north. We've got that other fire team that did that ambush coming in. I'm curious, what do they have in terms of weaponry now? Nope, they still have a machine gun and 3 bolt-action rifles. All right. No grenadier weaponry, though. Ah, yes, climbing over the barbed wire. That's how it works, right? So we have both the Panzers. Looks like they've driven out from the north. They're trying to find good firing positions on these areas. The question is, does Matt have any AT capability? Because he might be able to get behind that one Panzer and take it out with an AT grenade.
When I make the 13-hour drive to and from your neck of the woods, I will have time to see if you want to grab a beer.
Righto, Bad Wolf. Righto, man. Always down to grab a beer if anyone's in the Northern Virginia region. But nonetheless, hope you keep enjoying the ops, both playing and Zeusing. Hope TSB's been A-okay for you and hasn't drained your sanity too hard. And I thank you for the 38 months of support. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of whatever the heck is going on right now, right here. Yeah, so he's now trying to take the trench line up to get to the tank, but I don't think he's realized the tank's driven away. It looks like he has now, based off of the audio. Honestly, the best bet for these guys would be to break north and then cross over here away from the Panzer groups. That or follow where the German players have been going and hit the southern objective. But now that the Germans are pushing into the objectives, they're The Czechs are losing the opportunity to do any sort of ambush here, mainly because the Panzer Is are going to keep them suppressed in that tree line. Looks like the group of 4, though, that blew up that tank at... Fuck. The Panzer I. They're going to probably come into the center of town and might set up another blocking force in the town of Marines itself. Both sides have AT grenades, but that's the only level of AT. There were also 2 AT guns. One was disabled. Looks like the Germans are actually coming up to check on that, but it's been flipped belly side up down over here. The other one is up on this hill, which has not been touched yet. But the Czechs lost their 1 tankette, so the only reason to take that AT gun is to engage forces in the open if they had HE rounds. But otherwise, we'll take a moment to talk about the other 2 streams we're going to be doing today. 8 p.m. Patches Ops, we're going to have them deliver pizzas. I'm not joking. They're going to literally deliver pizzas for like an hour and a half until I get bored. And then it's going to be a Zeus op too. But then we're going to be on the ground in TMTM. Last week, I flew Hueys around. This week, I have no idea what I'm going to do. But if I get to fly Hueys around again, I'm going to make sure that the VODs don't stay on, and I will put on some copyrighted music from the Vietnam War and have at it. But nothing's going to probably beat that nice old search and rescue in the water style thing, because that was pretty damn fun. Oh, Woofus, don't you worry. I've been reading every little Czech joke Chad has been saying. Check my sanity, yeah. How about you guys write me some checks for my mortgage payments, huh? I shouldn't encourage you guys. No, no more Czech jokes. Here we go. Here's gonna stop the Czech jokes right here. We've got now 3. I think Nubas got disconnected. They might hear each other. You don't need encouragement. Yeah, you're already going off. You've been going off for the past 20 minutes. Oh. Uh-oh. Got caught with his binos out. Now he's shooting with the machine gun. Gets 1. Gets 2. Gets 3. All in this 1 magazine. That's Shay going to town. Hearing some machine gun firing over there. There's a double tap on that poor bastard. Last remaining guy tries to hit him through the window. That's Spire. Got Adam now throwing some grenades inside. Another grenade in by Shay right on top of this poor medic. Oh, he's dead. Literally knocked across the room. And did you just miss Adam at point blank, buddy? There you go. He makes up for it. So that 4-man German fire team was just knocked out completely. You've got Matt still back over here sneaking around. He's actually close by 2 German players, but I think the Germans know he's over there because they're going guns up looking at that spot. He might get shot by KJC in a second. But they hold fire. And you've got these 2 Panzer Is firing their machine guns at that large Czech group over to the northwest. But the Germans are slowly losing manpower. Even though NASA, who is commanding the Czech side, is dead, NASA, the leader, is not really having a good control over his forces here. And we keep seeing small groups walk in and get murked. So I think these 2 guys think there's a larger Czech force here, so they're trying to flank around. Oh, hold on. Did Matt just get... Oh, Matt, no. He's trying to get up, but he's falling over. Well, tanks finally caught him out of position, and unfortunately Matt was turned to switch cheese. See some long-range fire up here. Just from some bolt-action rifles landing really close to this Czech medic here. Just needs some milk, yeah, right? That fixes everything. So it's funny because the Germans only have enough forces on the northern side to really take the northern objective. They're relying on this squad here to take the southern one and then potentially move into the center one. But the amount of caution this squad is giving indicates that they think that this is crewed by the enemy. Crewed, that's the wrong term. Garrisoned would be the proper term. Medic, check his pulse. Oh, fuck's sake, guys. Literally gonna name this one the OFCRA PvP match where chat made check jokes for however long the video lasts. So I wonder if they could use that AT gun and engage the far northern group. But at this point, this large force needs to just start maneuvering, because if they keep right here, they're just going to get picked off by the Panzer I. So I'm really surprised that they haven't started a maneuver yet. They're just kind of all sitting around here waiting for something to do. I guess because Nass is dead. I don't really see any initiative going there, you know? 72 minutes of Czech puns gone sexual. Yeah, right? Let's just clickbait the hell out of it. Come on, Germany. This isn't football. Looks like they've also stolen one of their MGs. Fact of the house took the 34. But Shea on 3 kills. Technically, his grenade was the one that knocked out the other guy there. God, sexual Bloodwing called. I don't think Bloodwing called, though, would be clickbaity enough, because most people don't know who that amazing woman is. She came down here while I was working and saw that I dumped everything out of some boxes because I'm organizing them in the basement, so she just looked at it and looked at me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to clean it up, don't you worry. But if I don't, I'll probably get strangled. Yay! I wonder if, wait, no, that's a German, okay. I was about to say, if he was a Czech player, I think that tank would, probably murk him. Where'd you go? Hold on a second. Something doesn't seem right here. You good, buddy? Get armored indeed. So I wonder if this 4-man team is going to try to take this northern position. These 2 Panzers out in the open field are a little concerning, though. Because this is also fairly open on this hillside here. I don't see the Czech players getting in close. Hans forgot the concept of physics. How alt-reality can we go? And it looks like a transport truck was taken by the Czech players, and they're going to start driving around to the south. Interesting. Meanwhile, the Blue 4 German group has taken the southern position. They've also set up a Maxen gun over here. And now you're starting to see one of the Panzer Is engage the Czech players up here. I think they just eliminated someone because I only see 3 guys up here. I thought there were 4. That's a German there, though. It's 2 dead Germans. Yeah, they're not going to be able to get close to those because these 2 Panzer Is are actually doing a really good job of just going in positions that they can see anywhere where the enemy comes up to them, and they can just annihilate anything that comes in. Especially since they have the other tank, anti-tank cannon under their control. Look, Mom, no hands. Oh, God, no. Not hands jokes, too. Hands, Hans, whatever you want to call it. think it's an MP28, if I recall properly. Dude, he's now combining the jokes. Otherwise, points-wise, technically it's even because the town of Maurice is under Czech control, so that's 2 points, but the northern and southern areas, each worth 1 point, are under German control. So it would be an even, if the mission were to end right now, it would be a tie. I don't see how they're going to be able, the Czechs are going to be able to take the northern position, though, because of these two Panzer Is. But I could see this truck reposition and taking the southern objective from that German group. Well, I mean, when the match begun, the German side was speaking French, so that's why people are making French and German jokes. Also, yeah, Panther is different than the Panzer. I mean, isn't Panzer just directly translated to tank? Or something like that. Armor, yeah. And then you have these two guys on Northern Overwatch, though I could see the Czechs trying to encroach and potentially pick them off. Technically, the Panther is a Panzer V. Makes sense. So I think the Czech players have dismounted here. Maybe they were checking on this AT position to see if they could use it, but the gun is missing. So if they're looking for AT to take out those Panzers, then the next logical thing would be to go up to this hill to take that other AT gun, and that's where they're going to run into resistance. I wonder if the Germans are going to try to demo this thing, or, like, hide it away, because there's no real reason they need it. Because the tank head on the Czech side's been kamikazed. Were they checking on the AT? God damn it. Yeah, so I think they're going to reposition, go south, and maybe hit that position from the south, thinking that it's been compromised. But it looks like we have the Czechs pushing in. There's only two of them here. One of them got killed off in the open. He was the machine gunner. And the other one was hit pretty bad. Did he throw a fucking satchel and blow up the building? Brilliant. That was a satchel going off. Misses that shot. Grenade gets thrown, it knocks out the fence as he oh, it's a smoke. Well, you just helped him out, now he might get away. I think this guy just got... I don't know if he got hit by a friendly or an enemy. Wasn't these two, so he might have just gotten picked off by a friendly. Ah, wouldn't be an OFCRA match without some friendly fire. So the main building here has been knocked out, so it forces the Germans to come out in the open, but there's not really a good way for the Czech players to exploit this. Now you're having some rifle fire come from over here. Panzer I's returning fire knocks out one of the Czech players. Pretty sure they have their medic up here, though. So I don't see the medical. Wait, yep, there it is. How's that other Vic going? Oh, it's going way off course. Massive outflank. Well, it's gonna, like, probably do this, right? Drive all the way around. Oh, got that twin machine gun now firing at these two guys, forcing them to pull back. Oh! That's another kill by the Panzer I. And it gets the second guy, too! Oh! That thing's fucking brutal. Just... Someone took a tank and went, hey, you'll be better than one machine gun? I think it just got another dude. Oh, the flanking one. They're literally delivering enfilading fire on this position. We're down to 3 dudes up here. There was a full squad literally 30 seconds ago. Holy crap. Enfilading fire, to define, is when you have 2 positions attacking the same position but from 2 different angles. So when forces take cover from one position's fire, that cover is then flanked by the other position. So there's no way units can get into cover from both positions at the same time. So it just turns into a frickin' slaughter. And the fact now that both of these positions have 2 machine guns, and it's just a hail of bullets. So it's not really looking good for the Czech side. This firefight's going to determine the game. These are just skirmishes at this point, mainly because if the Czechs are able to get up there, retake the tank gun, and blow up these 2 Panzer Is, I think the Czechs are going to be able to bounce back. But if the Germans are able to hold off that force, then they just have to pick off the remaining groups with their 2 Panzer Is. It's going to be GG either way. We'll say, though, it's going to be a little more tough for the Czechs to bounce back here, though, because they still will have to take out the 2 Panzers, which might take a hot second. And these guys are not focusing on southern security at all. And they've got 3 dead Germans? How did that happen? It's not disconnects, because there's clearly blood here. I don't know what did that. Oh. Oh. What did you do? What? You have a bolt-action rifle. How did you do that? I think he bad fragged. Maybe? Because the guns are right here, so that indicates the bodies were blown away. You think he killed him with the AT gun while he was moving it? That could have also been a possibility. Because wasn't he the one moving the AT gun too? Oh, that's hilarious. That's just going to make it harder for the Germans to hold that southern position. Wait. I think he just tried to get in, and I'm not sure if there's a way to flip it, though. This is Shay. He's trying to figure out how to get this gun over so he can potentially hit the Panzer Is. His Hans slip. Oh, God. Looks like the 2 guys down here that were coming in have been taken out. Got some Blue 4 in this compound here. This is where, yeah, so there's his body. And it looks like they traded right here. Shay's trying his best to flip it. I don't think there's any way he's going to be able to do it, though. So this is going to be an 8 versus 6. Who do we have on either side? So we've got Zicki, who is a pretty good powerhouse in himself. He's got a bolt-action rifle. Who's their machine gunner? Paverlight. I have not seen him play. They also got Sixor and Ilvanek. Those two, I believe, also play in F&F, and they are fighting. If I can get a click. I do not recognize FAWR, so I don't know who's going to win this. Now, they're going up here cautiously, thinking that there might be contacts up here. If they believe there were contacts, though, I think they'd be a little more uniform in coming up here. Got some more long-range engagement between the Panzer and the remaining Czech force. Great grenade throw! Killing one of the Germans immediately. Literally landed at his feet. One of the Czechs is immediately mowed down by an MG34. Grenades going back and forth. Mix of smoke and frag. Definitely just mass hysteria going on right now. As the Germans are now trying to flank around, potentially running into Zicky's line. He throws a grenade up. It's a little short. This whole hill is plastered in white. Could have made a joke there, but I'm not going to. Oh, damn, this guy just got blown away. I expected this guy to come up and hit him with the machine gun, but he's busy bandaging. So, FAWR, Baku's on 4 kills now. They're doing a good job holding the line. It looks like it's 5v5 right now. Got a little bit of encirclement going on by the remaining 5 Czech players. And you still hear those guns firing. You got, it looks like 2 more alive over there because they're trying to challenge the Panzer Is. I don't know who's going to make the next move. Looks like the Germans are starting to regroup into the compound itself. They're down to 4. (5v4), 5v3. Czechs are making great use of the smoke. 5v2. Wait, nope, he's still alive. Okay, I thought I saw his triangle disappear. 5v3. This northern position's still going. They got the tank in there. Fact of the house is running around. KJC and Johnny Depp next door. Oh, getting this machine gunner up here would be devastating. If Paver were to come up, no, he pushes back instead. Oh, so machine gun fire gets a hit, not a kill. 2 German forces now hiding in the church here. Baku wakes back up. He's at, oh, so he might have just did a friendly fire because he was at 4 and now he's at 3. Grenades being thrown back and forth. Baku getting some shrapnel from that second one because it brought him up here and that knocks him out. Machine gun fire going into the church. That grenade went way off. It's smoke. Church bells are even ringing. Still 5v2 with a 3rd unconscious. Oh, fact of the house got a kill up here. And he has an MG34. And you're... Holy crap. Shay got the tank gun turned around. And he actually knocked out a Panzer IV. Excuse me, regular Panzer I, my bad. That Vic's screwed. The Czechs might have just turned this around. Barely. But they've turned it around. I don't know how the hell Shay knocked that thing over, because you can't flip it with Ace. So he had to have ragdolled into it some way to get to come around. So one of the German players just hit one of the Czech players. Just going with that machine gun. It is hard to tell what the hell is going on with all this smoke. One of the Germans just got knocked out. The other German's pushed out because of the smoke. It's 1v3. Misses his shot. Czech misses. He's dead because of the machine gun. Czechs have taken the southern position. All of the infantry, Fact of the House got the other guy. It is just down to ground command, NASA deleter, solo crewing a Panzer I. I think it's GG, guys. Because this also means that the Czechs get the supremacy bonus to get an extra point. Hope you're okay. What's that? If you feel the doctor's hands on your shoulders, then you know something's wrong, okay? I mean, guys, I think it's safe to say who won this match. Even if Shay didn't clutch that, these guys would have taken that AT gun and delivered the same result. It just came down to the PvP because both groups separated out heavily. I mean, Fact of the House getting 4 kills here made all the difference. GG, you know? It's... I don't see why the Czechs would... Let's assume the Czechs don't know that they've gotten the supremacy bonus, because there's no way they would know. They just have to hold this one position, send some forces in the town of Maurice, and just hold that. With the few units they have. And just wait it out. NASA Killer here is by himself. So he has no real reason to leave this area. Especially after hearing that his battle buddy tank was destroyed by an AT gun. So he's not going to leave that position. So that's it. It's GG. You're right. But NASA Killer already won. Excuse me, NASA Deleter already won because NASA got deleted and he has 8 fucking kills from that fucking tankette. So, take the winner you want. I'm going to say the official winner is OPFOR though, just because they have the AO down. Forgetful, no, but I think MCO 10 will be something along that alley. I'm still trying to debate how I'm going to do it, though. So honestly, all Fact needs to do right here is walk up with an AT grenade and just end it. Of course, we have the bias of knowing how many people are still alive on either side. And Shay is just looking around right here. Also trying to find that last one to engage. My point is they don't know that this is the last one. Whoop. Shots are going high. He's gonna hide behind that building. I don't think that's gonna be effective. Well, fuck me then. Okay. Okay. Yep, I'm gonna eat my words there. I think I just streamer cursed myself. Yep. What's that saying? The Panzer I didn't have that good of armor, so rifles could penetrate. Makes sense. 7 to 13 millimeters of armor. Ah, I gotcha. So yeah, literally sheet metal. Alright, Fact has a machine gun. What does Ground Command have here? A bolt-action rifle. And he is inspecting that AA gun. AT gun, my bad. Got some cool shades, though. Normally at this phase, I'd go over what went wrong with both sides, but the defense strat was literally just to fan out away from the objectives and try to catch Blue 4 on the move, and Blue 4 had a main force going, but then sent forces off to the side that were ambushed, so I guess keeping the force together would have been smart, not separating like random groups to go off and do other things, but I don't know what Blue 4's main attack plan was, because it looks like they just kept adjusting, you know? Get him. Cheese, did you empty your recycling bin either? Nothing in trash bin? Weird. Alright, Fact is gonna end this. Hi. Goodbye. And to quote chat, that is checkmate. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day and night. We'll be back in 3 hours for Paw Patrol Pizza Delivery. Otherwise, cheers, and have a good one.